Hey you guys, I zoomed out a little bit. I usually zoom in so that you guys can't see all of my junk that's back there. But I told you that I would come back and show you how I plan to stitch these together. And so that's what I'm doing. I've got 10 of them done. And so I've got 2 left. I thought I better wait to do, I was going to just save 1 to do, but I thought, well, if I screw it up, I want to have another one to still work on. Anyway, hopefully I won't screw it up. Anyway, so let's, oh, and I wanted to tell you, I did actually make a change on here. This little guy, I actually tore it off. I ripped it off and decided to do that as a tuck spot. And so you can see the paper is still there, but it's okay. It's going to get covered up. Anyway, so I did a couple of the, oh my God, it's so crazy how you forget what things are called when you're making a video. Anyway, a couple layers of the round pieces of fabric that came from the, what are those things called? The, those things. Oh my God, it's so funny. Okay, so I did a couple of those, and then I just stitched a little piece of rickrack on the front. You can't really see it very good, but there it is. Anyway, so I stitched that on, and then this is going to go back on here. Okay. Yeah, so that was an executive decision there. And then I also decided to do, I added just a couple little layers on this piece, and I decided to put it on this side of the cover. Okay, so it's going to get attached right here. And then I decided to do a belly band with this piece. So this is the flash card. Added a couple layers on there. These are just the Tim Holtz little ephemera tags. Anyway, so that's going to go in the center here. Okay. And then I'm not sure what I'm going to put here, but whatever I decide to do, I think I could, if I stitch it, I'll wind up stitching it on after everything's all put together. I haven't decided what to do there. And then this is the kind of double envelope little booklet. I don't know, still not sure if I'm going to bind this in. If I do, I'll probably wind up putting it on this side, so it'll be attached there. Okay. I think what I might do over here is do like a little notebook, and then just attach it at the top with eyelets or little like brads, and then maybe have a cover on it that'll close with a little string closure or something at the bottom here. I don't know. Haven't decided on that. Okay, so before we start stitching, so this isn't going to get stitched in yet, but I want to keep it with the journal. People are always wondering how I'm able to keep everything straight when I'm working on lots of journals at one time. And one of the things that I always try to do is keep all of the elements that go with each journal together as quickly as I can. Like as soon as I know what elements I'm going to be using in the journals, I make all those elements, and then I keep everything all together bundled up with rubber bands so that each element is with each journal as I go. So I don't have like all these stacks of things everywhere. And that way I don't forget to put stuff in. Anyway, so we've got these 2 pieces. We've got this little guy. This stuff is going to get stitched on to the cover. The cover is still not attached. See, it's still open like that. So basically, just to make my life easier, what I've been doing is just tacking on this little belly band. Well, actually, it's kind of a large belly band. But I've just been tacking this on. My glue's dried out. Okay. Just a little bit of the art glitter glue just to tack it in place. And then it's going to get stitched in top and bottom. Okay, so that's just going to hold it while I'm working on sewing everything together. Okay, and then this one too, Just a little bit of glue. And just kind of place it where it needs to be and tack it on there. So I'm not relying on that to, you know, hold it forever. I did do the stitching around 2 edges of this because I knew that the top and this side and the bottom were going to get stitched in to the cover. So I didn't want 2 rows of stitching. But I did want a row of stitching around the outside edge. And then, you know, this edge too. I didn't need anything on that side. Okay, so that's basically it. I might have to move. So my advice to you is to clear your desk. Have as much working space as you can, because this is a big piece that you need to be able to maneuver. And I'm just going to basically show you, I think I've got 5 seams that I'm going to run. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, 5, maybe one more later. Anyway, so I'm starting on this edge. Okay, so I'm opening it all the way up, and then whatever side you can get to easily, I'm gonna back stitch just a tiny bit, and then I'm gonna put my little tuck spot in place. I'm not gluing it on. I'm just setting it in where I want it to be and then folding it down. I don't know if you guys can see that. See, I just put it where I want it to be. I'm not gluing it or anything. I'm just holding it until it gets sewn together. Kind of just got to go slow when you're working over multiple layers, especially when you've got extra layers of paper. And then I have to sort of hold things up over here and along the back. I got to pull the sewing machine forward at this point so that I have enough space on my desk. Okay. So that side is stitched all the way along there. Okay, I didn't stitch this part. I just right straight along there. Okay, so that does a couple things. It it ensures that none of this fabric that I glued down is ever going to lift. It tacked on this piece, and it kind of finished this edge like I wanted before. Okay, and then I'm just going to pivot it, flip it all the way around. Now I'm working on the other end where I put the fabric and that little piece with the chipboard or the craft paper. So then I'll just stitch all the way down this side. Move the machine forward. Okay. So I've got both ends all stitched up. Everything looks neat and tidy, and so then I closed it up. Just close it up. If you want to trim off your, your tails or whatever, this is a good time to do that. And then I'm going to stitch it closed. So I'm going to stitch the cover all the way shut now. So I'm going along the bottom edge, and I'm going to catch the bottom of this pocket and the bottom of the belly band in this seam also. So So I'm going to definitely backstitch right here at the bottom because that's, you know, where the cover is open, and I don't want to risk it coming open because of the stitching. I've got my thread all tangled up in here. Hang on a second, you guys. All these tails were getting caught on this presser foot. And oh no, I thought I unthreaded the needle too at the same time. Hold on. Okay, hold the phone. Okay, and then I backstitch a little bit right on the edge of that pocket because that's a stress point. Not too worried about the other side of the pocket because it's really not a stress point. And then I'm going to backstitch right at the edge of the belly band at the bottom on both sides. I'll show you here in a second. I know you guys can't see. And then when I get to the very end, again, I'm backstitching a couple times because that's another stress point that I want to be sure is not going to come undone later. Okay, so see, because this is where the journal closes up, I wanted to make sure that that was nice and sturdy, and the same on this side. Okay, right here at the bottom. And then I did some backstitching at this side of the pocket because that's kind of a stress point where the, you know, pocket is stitched on. And then I backstitched here and here, you know. And then I'll just turn it over and run another seam across the top. Again, backstitching on each side of the belly band. Just to give it a little extra strength. I'm sorry that this sewing machine is considerably louder than my other one. Sorry about that. Okay, and then the last stitch is going to go straight down this edge of the pocket because it's, remember how I just tacked it on with glue. I want to stitch it on now to make sure it never comes off. Okay, so just lining up my, and then I'm also going to back stitch right there at the top of the pocket. A little bit at the bottom just to lock the seam. Okay, so that's it as far as putting everything together. So we've got a pocket sewn in here, we've got our belly band here, we've got the little tuck spot stitched on that side. Okay, and you'll see I wound up with a row of stitching all the way around this piece that we glued on to the back. And then, yeah, so I mean, it's not finished obviously, but it's starting to look like a journal cover now, and everything is nice and kind of finished off, you know. And I'm still retaining all of the good part, I think, of that original flour sack, you know. And then this little guy, since I still don't know exactly where I'm going to put it, I'm just going to put it in the little belly band for now, temporarily. Okay, and then that one, I'll just rubber band it shut, put it in my stack, and finish up that last one. So I also have a whole bunch of like little boxes that I've been hanging on to, and I cut them all apart and just kind of made them into some little pieces to use as writing boards in some of these journals. So I'm going to be tucking these in somewhere in the journals also. Some of them I backed with like a file folder, you know, so they're nice and stiff. And especially like this one, because this is the two edges of the box that were folded down, so I wanted to make sure it didn't, you know, bend anymore. So I just backed it onto kind of a thick file folder. And I'll be doing some stitching on these too. I'll just go all the way around the borders and then probably round off the corners. Maybe add an eyelet with a little piece of lace or something. Just something really simple. So these will be used in the journals. Also, as far as the kits that I'm putting together for you guys, I got some more ticking cloth. So I'll give you some, you'll either get red or blue, okay, ticking fabric, okay. And then I scanned some of these covers. Obviously, some of them I was not able to scan because they're, you know, I'm sure that they're copyrighted and stuff. But some of these older pieces I scanned, and I went ahead and just did the dominoes boxes because I wasn't sure. I did the anagram box, another domino box. Anyway, so I did scan some of that stuff. I also, I've been printing off stuff that I'm going to include in the kits for you guys. Let me just show you real quickly kind of what I've wound up with. And the printer is still printing. It's still going. Anyway, so some of these little letters, I'll just give you a sheet of those that you can use. See, these are some of the box covers that I copied. So these things will go into your kits. Some little price tags. These little guys. And I don't know. I guess I just feel like that sort of style, like this kind of style, just reminds me of just like the old general store kind of feeling, and it makes me think about cookbooks and sewing and domestic arts and that kind of stuff. So I scanned a bunch of like sewing stuff, some old needle books and things like that. So I'll be including some printed things like this that I didn't, you know, like I don't even have this stuff anymore, but I scanned it a long time ago. These are like bobbins, thread bobbins. Anyway, so I'll be including some printed stuff in those kits also, so you guys can cut it all apart and play with it. Yeah, I'm just printing like some recipe cards. I printed some larger, some smaller. Let's see, some smaller ones. There's the anagram. This is a little old maid game. And then there's some more of the letters. So I'll just put together, there's a bunch of the flashcards. What else? What else is in here? Yeah, a bunch of flashcards. So I'll give you a good selection of the scanned and printed flashcards. I do have these flashcards in my Etsy shop also. So, you know, if you want to have a digital copy of a bunch of these flashcards, there's I think 2 listings of them in my Etsy shop. But I'll leave a link to my Etsy shop in the description. But I will also be including a selection of original flashcards. So some of those phonics ones, and then I've got a whole bunch of other flashcards, like tons of flashcards, old, nice vintage flashcards. So, and some playing cards, some other different games and things like that. I'm going to take some pages out of some of the 5-ring binder cookbooks that I have, so I'll include some of that. Lots of, I have a whole bunch of feed sack fabrics. So I'll give you an assortment of different feed sack fabrics, like usable pieces of it in the kits. And I don't know if any of you have priced feed sack fabric lately, but take a look on eBay at feed sack and see how it looks. It's crazy. Anyway, so I'll do like some linens and laces and that kind of stuff too. I don't think I'm going to do, I'll probably do some book pages in these, but I don't think I'm going to be including a whole bunch of paper. Like I mostly am, you know, and I'm going to give you like a selection of things to make charms out of, like the dominoes, different game pieces, dice, some anagram tiles, things like that. So like I showed you the one little charm that I made. So I'll give you some charms and, you know, some mahjong tiles and bingo tiles and things like that. So anyway, I guess I'm mentioning this because I just want you guys to know it'll be really fun. It's going to be a nice little kit and a nice change for me. I've had, I think, 12 requests for those so far. So I think I can do about 6 more. I'm asking $50 for the kits plus shipping, depending on where you are. I can probably ship them in a priority envelope. So those are about $8. If you're outside the United States, I'll probably do an Etsy listing for you. So that way you can select what method of shipping you want. And then I don't have to figure out how much the shipping is to your country. Okay. So anyway, and whatever country you live in, I'm sure you know about what shipping costs are. These are going to weigh more than a pound. So, but probably not more than 2 pounds. So anyway, okay, that's enough blabbering. This is really fun. Tell me if you guys like the idea of a series of videos where I'm actually making the journals and then also doing some kits to go along with those videos. And then, you know, if you want to make one yourself, you can. I'm thinking about doing this with some Reader's Digest too. So if anybody is, you know, interested in doing that, let me know about that also. I definitely want to know because I have a lot of Reader's Digest still, and I'd like to do another series of them. But I think it would be fun to also do a kit so you guys can work along. Anyway, so let me know about the, if you want one of these farmhouse style journal kits so I can get those done and I can get you out in a PayPal invoice or an Etsy listing if you're outside the US and get those shipped out to you guys as soon as possible. I plan to put them together, you know, starting tomorrow. So that would be Sunday. Anyway, okay. Oh, and I need to know how many to make. So anyway, so if you see this tonight, let me know. And then, yeah, anyway, okay. I love you guys. Okay, bye for now.